Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akaya bringing you game number 2 of the Cloud versus BSOS matchup in the Wrath of the xel'naga tournament. This of course is a tournament that is going down in the SC2 Armory, so everybody from the SC2 Armory that is involved right now, good luck to all of you. And we are getting round 1 action underway right now, the round of 32, and we will be moving on to the round of 16 as soon as this is finished. All of these first from the round of 32 up to the round of 8 are going to be completed on day 1 today, and then the round of 4 and the finals are going to be played out the next day, which is going to be Sunday. But anyways, going back to the game here, we do have BSOS spawning once again as the green Zerg in the lower left corner here, and his opponent is none other than Cloud as the light blue Protoss. Wow, I am sorry, I'm having a hard time talking right now for some reason. But anyways, he is the light blue Protoss in the top right here. This map, of course, is Blistering Sands, which is only a 2-player map. And I believe that BSOS got to pick this map because the first game, the player A gets to pick the map, which is the top player on the bracket, and then player B gets to pick the second map, and then they both eliminate one map from the map pool, and whatever map is left standing, it becomes the third map if we move on to a game 3. Now, Cloud did win the first game. He had a very strong army combination of Immortals with 1 Colossi, and then of course a few Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries in the mix there as well, but very diverse unit mix, and he was able to take down game 1 with that diverse unit mix. Of course, had very, very good counters for the Roach Hydra build that BSOS did. And it looks like Cloud is actually going to block off his front entrance. He's got 1 pylon here, and he's put down 2 gateways right at the entrance, which this is a Zergling tight wall off here, so no unit's going to be able to get through there. But the reason he is able to do that is because in StarCraft 2, when you set your rally points, you can actually tell it which side of the base is to come out of, so you don't have to worry about units getting stuck behind these buildings if you set your rally points out to the front. And then, of course, with the warp gate capability as well, once you have some pylons or warp prisms elsewhere on the map, you can warp out units anywhere that you want to without having to worry about where your gateways are placed necessarily. And also, one other thing to note about this is later in the game, if you take down these destructible rocks, this basically becomes your front entrance. So you can basically send your ground forces out this way and get in and out of your base using that rather than the entrance that is initially open. And it looks like BSOS was able to trap the probe of Cloud up in the top here, so able to take that down, although it looks like his drone is going to consequently get trapped as well and taken down by that Zealot. And BSOS does have 1 Overlord overhead, so he's going to be able to see the Cybernetics core going down right now and is aware of the tech pattern of Cloud. He does have 1 of his assimilators up, but there are also 4 Zerglings out of the map right now moving across here, going to try to put a little bit of pressure on the front entrance of Cloud. Although with 1 Zealot there, he may be alright. 1 Zealot can actually take on about 3 or 4 Zerglings itself if it's microed properly, especially with the new quicker regenerating shields. Although, looking at the way he is microing this, it may not be quite enough since he is actually running this away for some reason. Another Zealot being built right now, though. He may need to build yet another one if he wants to keep this entrance up, because he does have 2 more Zerglings coming at him as well. So, and he is going to chrono boost the second one, putting a sentry behind the gateways. You can see that the rally point here is going to pull it out behind this building line. So basically, the Zealot coming out on the front, going to be able to do some defense here. And then, although I'm not sure why he moved it out, if he would have kept it here against the wall, he would have taken less hits because he would have been able to not get surrounded as easily by the Zerglings. And it looks like that sentry coming out here going to be able to force these Zerglings to back off. And they didn't even manage to take down all the shields, although there are more Zerglings coming up right now, so it looks like he is going to continue with this pressure on the front entrance. And no more sentries or stalkers being built right now, but he may need them. 1 cannon and 1 sentry. I don't know if that'll be enough, although it looks like BSOS is going to back off. He does have an expansion going up at his natural, so going to get that early economic advantage with that. And of course, looking back at the light blue Protoss player's base, he has not yet put an Nexus down to his expansion, so despite the fact that he's gone for the wall off past his expansion, he has not yet put it down, although it looks like he is doing just that right now. So his expansion timing a little bit behind, as BSOS is nearly done with his hatchery, and the Nexus 4 Cloud is just now starting. Going into his base, he does have the Forge up, and he has gotten his second assimilator, so we should start seeing some pretty heavy unit production here coming up soon, I would imagine, especially with this robotics facility being finished up. I would imagine that he is going to do something similar to what we saw last game, where he had the Colossi and Immortal build Although, of course, if we do not see as many roaches and hydralisks from BSOS, that will not be as effective because the immortals directly counter those hydralisks and roaches. So that is definitely the best thing to have when you're going up against that kind of an army mix. And it looks like Cloud is going to be able to spot these Zerglings trying to break up his back wall, because he does have the pylon here inside the line of sight blocker, so he's going to be able to see these Zerglings coming trying to attack it. And he is putting a cannon down here to respond to this. It looks like that will probably be warped up before these Zerglings are able to break through here. So I don't imagine these Zerglings will be able to get up there and really do any damage. But at the same token, if he's able to get into that entrance and have basically two entrances to get into Cloud's base, that would definitely be a good option. The Nexus now finished for Cloud, but of course there are no probes out there yet, so he will need to be transferring some probes over there. And a robotics facility going down as well, so I'm sorry, a robotics bay going down as well. This is not StarCraft 1. But anyways, the robotics bay is going to give him the ability to build his Colossi at the robotics facility once that's up and running, and we'll see if he actually goes for the thermal lance upgrade for getting that additional range on those Colossi, so he can leave them in the back lines so they don't have to soak up any of the extra damage. And then once again, we do see that Cloud has an observer in the base of BSOS, so he will be aware of exactly what's going on as he starts to build some more Hydras here. So once again, going for the Hydras. There are no Roaches in the mix this time, though, so maybe these Hydras and Zerglings will do a little bit better than he did with the Zergling Hydra Roach combo last game. We'll have to see how that plays out here in a little bit. Pretty minimalistic armies for both players at this point, but with the expansions going up and beginning to get saturated at their mineral lines right now, we should see more units popping out here very shortly. Taking a look at the production overlay here, we can see that there are a couple of range upgrades going up. There are 3 more Hydralisks, and then the missiles level 1 upgrade being researched, as well as the range upgrade for which is called Grooved Spines for the Hydralisks, gives them the additional range increase. But it looks like there's also an upgrade for the Overlords coming out here as well, which will allow them to move faster. And a lot of drones being built from BSOS's main, sending those drones down to mine at his expansion that he has just recently gotten up.